You can tell me Puff going away for a long time, bro, but do you not hear the of Meek Mill? Do you not hear all of the shake it off, take that, of Will Smith?
Over the years, Jaguar Wright has turned herself into one of the boldest voices exposing the entertainment world's hidden chaos. She's called out major names like Diddy, Jay-Z, and even Will Smith, claiming the real story behind the fame is way darker than fans ever imagined. She didn't hold back when she said Will had old ties to Diddy, describing that whole puffy-flavored camp energy as something shady from back in the day. Wright paints these moments as sketchy industry moves, though she admits none of it's proven facts, just what she's seen and heard over time. And it doesn't stop there. She also brought up how Orlando Brown has been speaking out lately, claiming he's got the keys to Will Smith's most hidden secrets. His wild statements keep people buzzing, stirring even more drama into the mix, though just like before, none of it's backed by any solid proof.
He said a lot. He said
everything but the thing that was important. That he know that Will Smith, Jaden, he Bashir and he Meek Mills, and you know it, Bilal. He's kid who knew that your husband was doing things to boys and did stuff to your son, and you ain't doing about it. Bilal told me everything.
They're good friend who.
Bilal told me, Jaden. He told me that you knew Will was f***ing your child. Yes, he did. Wonder why he left that out of his Tasha K interview.
If you've been keeping up with all this drama, then you already know this isn't the first time people online have started questioning Will's personal life and the choices he makes behind closed doors. The street's been talking for a while now, with rumors about tension in the family and whispers that things inside the household got cold over time. Some say that distance started showing because of heavy industry pressure and all the emotional stress that comes with fame. And here's where it gets even wilder. Names like Brahi Gray and Justin Bieber keep getting tossed around in talks about the darker sides of the industry, claims about manipulation and shady behavior. But let's be clear, none of this has ever been proven. These are just unverified stories that keep the gossip spinning while the real truth stays hidden.
He tried to kiss me in the
Have you ever kissed your son on Thai television before?
You're not looking kiss
Can
my
you kiss your
son.
client on Thai television?
I can kiss my son. Jaden, come on.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
Dude, come on.
You know I love him, Ellen. I love him.
Jaguar didn't stop there. She's even claimed that Jada knew exactly how certain Hollywood circles operate. She's thrown in names like Meek Mill too, painting a picture of powerful groups in the industry looking out for each other no matter what. Word on the street is that this same tight-knit energy might explain why Brahi Gray completely flipped his image in public, if you catch the hint. For anyone who's been following his story online, the shift has been impossible to miss. His social media pages now cater to a very specific crowd, and people can't stop talking about how sudden and extreme the change has been. It's like one day he was one person, and the next, everything about him looked brand new. But the whispers go even deeper. Rumor has it Brahi wasn't always living this kind of lifestyle. Sources claim he was once married and truly believed settling down would calm whatever personal battles he was fighting inside. Sadly, that plan fell apart fast. The emotional tension reportedly got so heavy that things spiraled out of control behind the scenes.
This is a sick woman that's searching for something, but has a man behind her that's complicit in all her acts because she's holding things over Will's head So Will feel he has to be complicit.
What type of things is she holding over Will's head? Like, from the time you met Will was straight, right?
As far as I know, yes.
As far as you know.
Yes.
Heterosexual.
Yes. He ran through a lot of beautiful women in Philly.
Okay.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
So you was around when he met his first wife?
Yes, well, I didn't live in LA, but I met Cherie because I would come to California quite often. And when I would come to I met Cherie. So yeah, I was around before they had Trey and everything, and she would be hanging, you know, around at the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air set.
Okay. So is it, in your opinion, do you feel like Jada intentionally took Will from Sheree, or were they truly having problems?
Well, of course they were having problems, but once again, Jada was the woman that everybody wanted, and Will needed that validation to have that type of woman. Although Cherie was beautiful.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah.
But Cherie wasn't doing no movies. You know, all the big guys in Hollywood wasn't trying to, you know, celebrities weren't trying to get at her. It was Jada. So Will was like, oh, I got to have that.
Some claims have even gone as far as suggesting there was, over the years, Jaguar Wright has turned herself into one of the boldest voices exposing the entertainment world's hidden chaos. She's called out major names like Diddy, Jay-Z, and even Will Smith, claiming the real story behind the fame is way darker than fans ever imagined. She didn't hold back when she said Will had old ties to Diddy, describing that whole puffy-flavored camp energy as something shady from back in the day. Wright paints these moments as sketchy industry moves, though she admits none of it's proven facts, just what she's seen and heard over time. And it doesn't stop there. She also brought up how Orlando Brown has been speaking out lately, claiming he's got the keys to Will Smith's most hidden secrets. His wild statements keep people buzzing, stirring even more drama into the mix, though just like before, none of it's backed by any solid proof. If you've been keeping up with all this drama, then you already know this isn't the first time people online have started questioning Will's personal life and the choices he makes behind closed doors. The street's been talking for a while now, with rumors about tension in the family and whispers that things inside the household got cold over time. Some say that distance started showing because of heavy industry pressure and all the emotional stress that comes with fame. And here's where it gets even wilder. Names like Brahe Gray and Justin Bieber keep getting tossed around in talks about the darker sides of the industry, claims about manipulation and shady behavior. But let's be clear, none of this has ever been proven. These are just unverified stories that keep the gossip spinning while the real truth stays hidden.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the out of me.
According to Jaguar Wright, the chaos around Justin's career didn't just happen by chance. It started way back with certain industry choices made early on. She claimed his former manager, Charlie Mack, put him under Will Smith's mentorship, a decision she now calls a huge mistake in hindsight. Wright insists that move shaped the kind of pressure Justin ended up facing later on, hinting that it may have pushed him into some tough situations he wasn't ready for. Now, of course, these are just her opinions, not confirmed facts, but that hasn't stopped people online from running with the story. The claims keep spreading fast across social media, sparking new conversations every few weeks. And what's wild is how those talks have dragged old moments back into the spotlight, especially clips of Will and his son from years ago during interviews and public events that people are suddenly looking at in a whole new way.
You know, Cherie caught Will in bed with Benny Medina. So,
Who?
Yeah, Benny Medina. Benny Medina is who the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is based off, and he's a, you know, big talent manager. You know, he had J-Lo, Puffy, a bunch of other. He had Will at one point, and you know, he's a known homosexual as well.
During a 2013 interview for the movie After Earth, viewers caught something that instantly sparked debate. People online said the interaction between Will and Jaden came off as awkward on camera, creating a tense moment that made some audiences uncomfortable even back then. Jaden, who was still a minor at the time, looked uneasy in the clip, and soon after, critics began questioning whether the exchange was appropriate at all. Now, to be clear, there's never been any official finding of wrongdoing, but that hasn't stopped people from revisiting the footage over and over again. Those clips keep popping up online, with critics arguing they reveal just how blurred the boundaries can get inside Hollywood's spotlight. Fans back then couldn't help but talk about it non-stop, saying that Will's overly affectionate behavior toward his son just didn't sit right with him. And even after all these years, those old reactions still haven't completely faded away.
Jada Pinkett Smith is in the middle of a thing, namely a big legal thing, because according to someone, Jada threatened to put a bullet in them. Someone who is a close friend of Will's. Bilal Salam says that he and Will have been very close friends for a long time. He's worked with him on several projects, but something went south between Bilal and Jada back in 2021. And now Bilal has filed a $3 million lawsuit against Jada, claiming that she basically threatened, it comes across like a death threat.
Wright took the drama to a whole new level when she echoed the shocking claims made by Bilal Salam. For anyone who hasn't followed that story, Bilal Salam used to be Will Smith's personal assistant, and reportedly they shared a close friendship that lasted for decades. But according to public reports, that bond eventually crumbled, and a lot of the tension allegedly circled back to Jada Smith. By September 2024, things had escalated big time. Bilal filed a $3 million lawsuit against Will, accusing him of causing serious emotional distress. The claims reach all the way back to 2021, painting a picture of long-standing conflict behind the scenes. Court documents mention that during Will's birthday party in September 2021, Jada allegedly confronted Bilal in front of others, getting verbally aggressive and sparking a heated argument. But it didn't stop there. Bilal claims the situation turned threatening. He says he was warned to stop talking about private matters and was allegedly told he could go missing if he didn't keep quiet. That's intense. He also claims Jada tried to get him to sign a non-disclosure agreement, which he flat out refused. These are still just allegations, but the story has blown up online, with fans and bloggers dissecting every detail.
Tell me the story about how Puffy wanted to fight Will Smith over Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, man. We were at a birthday party that I think either Matt Damon was giving for Ben Affleck. It was just a little gathering. It was at the Four Seasons. Will Smith and his sister and her husband, we were all sitting on this side of the room. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, Puff, Will Smith, and Jada that was sitting on the other side of the room. So I know Puff so well that he stood up. When he stood up, he walked and did his arm some kind of way, like, and then he went like this, you know, like that. I went over towards him. I know to go over there towards him. So I go over towards him, and he said to me, he said, "Yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up Jennifer. I want you to stay close, because I'm going to snuff him."
Fast forward to 2022, right after that unforgettable Oscars moment when Will Smith shocked the world by slapping Chris Rock on live TV. Bilal Salam claims that everything behind the scenes flipped upside down after that. He says he was asked to step in and help manage a PR cleanup for the Smith family, but he refused, saying the request crossed serious legal, ethical, and moral boundaries. According to him, that decision sparked a wave of pressure and retaliation that only got worse as time went on. Bilal says things really started heating up once people found out he was working on a memoir. Around that time, he began dropping explosive public statements about Will Smith's private life, talking about alleged past relationships and secret drama. But let's be clear, none of those claims have ever been proven, and everyone involved has strongly denied them. He even suggested that some earlier marriages ended because of personal discoveries, but again, those are just allegations, not established facts. Bilal insists that once he spoke out, Jada hit back hard with new legal threats. Still, he publicly stood his ground, saying he wasn't backing down no matter how much pressure came his way. After appearing on Tasha K's platform multiple times, Bilal made it clear he wasn't done talking. He said he was ready to come back with documentation if the legal fight ever moved forward, and that sent shockwaves through the internet. If that happens, Jada and the Smith family could be facing way more pressure than they ever imagined, because now Bilal's not standing alone. More voices have stepped into the spotlight, and the list of allegations keeps growing from all corners of the industry. Even Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, has jumped into the conversation, stirring things up with his own set of claims. In several interviews, Gene alleged that Diddy and Will Smith used to party together in scenes he described as wild and over the top. According to him, those parties were anything but ordinary. While nothing's been proven, Gene says things eventually got tense after a misunderstanding involving Jennifer Lopez. Yeah, that's right, J-Lo's name got pulled into it too. He claimed that boundaries were crossed and egos started clashing behind closed doors, painting a picture of chaos at the top levels of fame. Even Gene suggested that Will and Jada were sometimes behind the scenes, arranging social setups that left people feeling uneasy. Once again, these are all allegations, not confirmed facts, but that hasn't stopped fans from buzzing about it non-stop online. And of course, no one can forget the famous entanglement with August Alsina from years back. That one moment changed everything about how the public saw the Smiths, and critics say it opened the floodgates for all these new accusations that just keep pouring in.
I got into an entanglement with August, that's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes.
The Smiths, things are heating up fast. It's starting to look like their legal drama could stretch deep into 2026. Insiders are already predicting even more lawsuits, public disputes, and messy headlines waiting to explode. The pressure isn't slowing down, and every new claim seems to spark a bigger storm than the last. And now, Orlando Brown might be stepping into the chaos too. Rumors are swirling that he's gearing up to drop some shocking statements of his own, claims that could make the internet lose its mind all over again. According to Chatter Online, he's ready to expose details that sound just as explosive as Jada's famous entanglement moment from 2020. Sources are claiming that Will has had relationships outside his marriage, but remember, none of this is confirmed. The Smiths have both spoken before about having a non-traditional setup, which only adds more fuel to the public speculation. Street Talk now says that Will's current partner might actually be a man, though again, there's no verified proof behind any of this. Still, the internet can't stop debating it. Comment sections are blowing up with hot takes. One person even wrote, "Man, Will Smith has been doing this in plain sight, but people just can't separate the actor from the real person."
What it sounds like on when Will Smith get in the on video and camera and audio, I'm not trying to condone what it sounds like when Meek Mill getting in the on camera, on video. I'm not trying to get, all in between the business of, Reginald Bill Johnson getting in the, and all that other shit, but what I'm talking about is some real gangster shit and some real G is, you wanted that dick in your You wanted that dick in your ass. You wanted that extra $1 million or whatever the case may be, and you can't blame the person that gave it to you. And that's Puff. Puff like the... You know what I'm saying?
Another comment online claimed that Will allegedly caused tension in other people's marriages too. And when it comes to Jaden, he's spoken out before, but instead of people asking why he feels that way, they've labeled him as the problem. These are all opinions, not confirmed facts, but they show just how split public opinion has become around this whole situation. Some commenters even pushed the conversation further, saying that if Jada really knew about certain family issues, it might explain why Jaden once talked about wanting independence so early on. Now that theory has never been proven, and there's absolutely no verified evidence of any wrongdoing involving minors, but that hasn't stopped online forums from twisting those old statements into wild, dramatic narratives that just won't die down. Even people from Philly have jumped into the conversation, claiming that Will's private life was an open secret back in the day, saying none of this should shock anyone who knew him then. But again, let's be real. These are rumors, recycled stories, and street talk with no confirmed proof behind them. Now we want to hear what you think. Do you believe Will Smith has been living a private life that doesn't match his public image? Or is this just another case of the internet running wild with gossip? Drop your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment so you don't miss what's coming next. The next episode of Street Signal is on the way, and trust me, you don't want to miss it.